Photography doesn't always capture just how steep the land could be, but you know what this picture does? Yes, it's very steep. Good morning, everyone. I'm going to show some pictures of some Indian ruins, but I want you to capture the magnitude of this land. This is a photo of the Verde Valley, and the horizontal arrow is like where the highway is, and the pictures are looking up at these Indian ruins. But this is a very vast valley, and I just want you to get a clue of how big it is. The arrow on the right is the San Francisco peaks, which are north of Flagstaff. And here's, I darkened it up for you to be able to see the peak better. And if you kept panning left on the horizon line is where the city of Prescott is, you know, off the picture. This video is a little bit of an extension of a video I did earlier, and it was about Arizona history, 1850. And I looked at a lot of maps, and I'll leave it in the description, you know, if you want to go watch it. But I want to put context into this to where, do you see what I see? Just saying, because the history is so muddled in Arizona. Okay, so I just want to review a little bit of geography, so you could go where I'm going with this. Okay, north of Flagstaff are the San Francisco peaks. They're at about 13,000 feet. Further north of there is the Grand Canyon. And to the right of Flagstaff in different locations, a couple different locations, there are cinder fields, like there is some volcanic eruptions with lava rock laying around. There's a couple of craters, so who knows all what happened to the land. And if you go almost to the border to the right from Flagstaff is the petrified forest. And if you look at pictures of it, it looks like people were sawing the wood. Something drastic happened and petrified the wood on the spot. It's very beautiful, strange anomaly on this world. Okay, now where these ruins are is like the red dot kind of in the middle of the map. And what I want to demonstrate is all the green above there is the Colorado Plateau. Flagstaff is at about 7,000 feet. And there are different canyons in the heading south. Especially there's Walnut Creek Canyon. What makes canyons? Water. There's some spectacular cliff dwellings up in there, and there's also north of Prescott is like Sedona, where all those magnificent, beautiful, carved out looking red rocks. There's also cliff dwellings in that area. And I have, and I'm going to propose my theory to you too, and especially looking at these photographs, that in the not so distant past there was a huge flood. in Arizona. And the Colorado Plateau, the bottom line, the bottom of the green is a gigantic escarpment. It's a big drop-off. It's called the Muggian Rim. And I want you to take note. Okay, Flagstaff's at 7,000 feet. Prescott and Payson are both at about 5,000 feet. And smack dab in the middle is, you know, and the ruins I'll be showing are in the Camp Verde area. And that is at a low point of, for this area, 3,100 feet. And I am going to wonder out loud if this did not get flooded. And maybe these photos will help substantiate it. And then I put the elevation of Phoenix is approximately 1,000 feet. So there's a big drop off in the state. And from the previous video from the 1850, now I can't make this stuff up. Now, Camp Verde is that red dot in the middle. And what is running through there is the Verde River. And you can see where it connects up with the other major waterways that run through Phoenix. Okay, this is what I can't make up. The Verde River is not on the map in 1850. Okay, so that's why I'm very speculative that, you know, history of Arizona isn't millions and millions of years old. It's, you know, actually fairly recent. And we, you know, does science explain how petrification happens? I mean, they found a petrified boot, you know, that happened very rapidly, and they, I think they found that in Texas. Okay, so, and a little bit to substantiate it, you know, from that overlook I showed you, this is on the General Crook Trail. I can't make this stuff up, but it was a wagon trail first established in 1871. They could finally get wagons on it in 1874. And I didn't know all the locations of these places, but it essentially ran from Prescott all the way into eastern Arizona. So it's a big deal. You know, there's a couple of national monuments also in the Verde Valley. One is called Montezuma's Castle, and you know, it's fully controlled by the federal government. I've been there years ago. I haven't been back, but I want you to notice how, now I'm going to speak my opinion, but it looks like the newer construction or the construction of the quote castle is fairly recent. And if you look on the bottom right, it looks possible, and it'll look more possible to you, that it's something got buried. Okay, this may or may not, you know, on its own substantiate my theory of a flood, but it looks like windows or doorways and things got flattened. Also in the area is another national monument called Thew, and this is a structure built on a hill. It reminds me a lot of the structures that I showed that were from New Mexico, the same style of construction. This looks very cleaned up. You know, I'm not sure if, you know, how much rebuilding they did, but I want you to take note what it may have survived as well as it did because it sits on a hill. And I found this photograph very interesting. Number one, it does look possibly rebuilt to me. I mean, it looks like the cement the mortar between the rocks still looks wet. It looks like it's a, maybe not original, I don't know. But I want to zoom in a little bit and a couple things. Number one, it's on a hill, and number two, in the background, it looks like a waterway. And this rock in this area is very fragile. It crumbles very easily. Um, but I wanted to point out too that how renewable the resources are. It looks like a new stone building was built after this Tuesday Goat structure on the hill was destroyed, if you follow me. And okay, these are the ruins that are undeveloped. Excuse me. And this is in the also in the same area, but these look completely decimated. Now they're on the hillside, and it looks incredibly pancaked to me. I could be wrong. The history tells us these people wandered off because of illness or drought or something. But this looks like massive devastation to me. So I'm kind of challenging the word from our authorities, if you will. Just asking out loud, and please take note that a lot of the construction is of a more brown colored than the other. But it looks like it was flattened, and there's layers and layers on top of each other. Now, was this caused from a flood? It looks like massive devastation all at once. It's crumbling, it's falling down, possibly buried. I mean, people don't dig caves to live in. I mean, they're either there or they're not. Now, they could have been re-inhabited. But here's my question. Was these ruins, I'm going to be showing an enormous castle, huge structure on a hill like Tuesday Goat? Don't know. But here again, you can see how, it's like in relief, like some of it is sticking out of the mountain and broke off. There's multiple stories to it, multiple levels to it. And here, this shows better how it, you could just tell it was flattened and crumbling away. Now, I was up here years ago, and I don't have the legs of a mountain goat anymore, and I didn't explore all over because, I mean, there's a lot of loose rock, so I'm doxing its location, but beware, this is not easy trekking. Here in this picture, you could see, it's like the stone or brick room inside of there. You could see how the walls are kind of tipped over and, kind of wavy. Is that the right word for it? Rocks fell down. Now, I don't, if something got buried in a big flood with a lot of silt, does it cling to it and then turn to rock and fall off? I am no authority on geology or anything, but I do consider what my eyes actually see. And this is like something, an enormous structure that got annihilated. Just a major disaster struck this area. Okay, I don't want to talk too long. One very quick pop quiz. What is it? Okay, let's get on to the video.